The weight of fragments. The morning sun climbed higher as they rode, casting long shadows across the corrupted landscape. Edrick could feel the fragment in his chest with every breath now. Not painful exactly, but present. A constant awareness of something foreign nestled against his heart, pulsing in rhythm with his own blood. The Weeping Stones lay a day's hard ride north through increasingly twisted terrain. According to Alluria's scouts, the cultists there had already begun their ritual, warned by survivors who'd fled Thornhaven. The element of surprise was gone. "We need to talk about what happened back there," Shamaz said quietly, guiding his white gelding alongside Edrick's gray stallion. The old healer's face was lined with concern that went beyond simple worry for a friend's health. Edrick kept his eyes on the corrupted forest ahead. "You mean the part where I lit up like a beacon for the Devourer? Or the part where I nearly lost control?" "Both," Shamaz replied, "and the part where you're pretending it doesn't matter." "It matters," Edrick said, his jaw tight. "But what choice do I have? We can't stop, not with the cultists already gathering at the next site." Rose rode up on his other side, her chestnut courser moving with practiced ease through the underbrush. "Shamaz is right. We need to understand what's happening to you before we walk into another fight." "What's happening is exactly what the Devourer told us," Edrick said, unable to keep the bitterness from his voice. "I'm carrying its heart. Have been my whole life. Every breath I've ever taken, it was there. Every decision I've made, every battle I've fought, it was watching." Alluria had been riding ahead, but now she circled back, her black mare dancing sideways. "The fragment responded to the sealing blade," she said, her tone analytical rather than sympathetic. "When you drove the blade into the altar, the green light in your chest intensified. They're connected somehow." "Connected how?" Rose asked. Shamaz pulled a small leather-bound journal from his saddlebag, one of the texts he'd been studying at the Urith stronghold. Elder Ashara's records suggest the sealing blade wasn't just forged to fight the Devourer. It was forged from pieces of it. King Aldrich took fragments of the creature's essence and bound them into steel, creating a weapon that could recognize and sever the Devourer's influence. Edrick felt his stomach turn. "So the blade is made from the same thing that's inside me." "In a sense," Shamaz said carefully, "which means when you wield it, you're not just fighting the Devourer, you're fighting with a piece of it. And the fragment in your chest recognizes its kin. That's why it grows stronger when I use the blade," Edrick said, understanding dawning with cold clarity. "Every time I strike with it, I'm feeding the fragment, giving it more power." "Not necessarily," Shamaz argued. "The blade also weakened the cultists, severed their connection to the Devourer. It's possible the fragment's response is defensive. It senses a threat to its source and tries to protect itself by growing stronger. Either way, I can't stop using it," Edrick said. "It's the only weapon that works against the corruption." Rose's hand moved to her sword hilt. "Then we limit how much you need to use it. The rest of us engage the cultists first. You save the blade for when it's absolutely necessary." "That won't work at the Weeping Stones," Alluria said. "According to the scouts, there are at least 30 cultists there now. Maybe more. The survivors from Thornhaven have rallied others to the cause. They know we're coming, and they'll be prepared." The group fell silent as they rode, each processing the implications. The trees around them grew more twisted with every mile, their branches reaching toward the sky like clawed hands. The corruption here was older, deeper, not fresh like the spreading darkness from Thornhaven, but ancient and settled. "This land remembers," Shamaz said quietly, studying the gnarled trees. 3,000 years ago, this was part of Aldrich's kingdom. The Weeping Stones were a sacred site even then, a place where the boundary between worlds grew thin. "Thin enough for the Devourer to reach through," Edrick said. "Thin enough for many things to reach through," Shamaz corrected. "The old texts speak of the stones as a place of prophecy and vision. Kings came here to commune with their ancestors, to seek guidance from those who came before." Alluria's expression grew thoughtful. "The Urith have similar sites, places where the veil is gossamer thin. My grandmother called them listening posts, places where you could hear the whispers of what was and what might be." "Dangerous places," Rose muttered. "Anything that whispers from beyond the veil can't be trusted." Not everything beyond the veil is evil, Shamaz said gently, though the Devourer has certainly claimed many such places for itself. They crested a ridge, and the landscape opened before them. In the distance, perhaps 3 hours' ride, stood a circle of massive standing stones on a barren hilltop. Even from this distance, Edrick could see the sick green light pulsing between them, could feel the fragment in his chest responding with eager recognition. "There," Alluria said, pointing, "the weeping stones." The stones were easily 20 feet tall, arranged in a perfect circle around a central altar. Unlike Thornhaven's ruined grandeur, these stones were pristine, as if time itself had refused to touch them. But the ground around them was blackened and dead, a circle of corruption spreading outward from the ritual site. 30 cultists, Rose said, studying the distant figures moving between the stones. Maybe 35. They're arranged in groups of 7. 5 circles, Edrick noted. 1 for each of the lost bloodlines? Shamaz nodded grimly. They're calling to the fragments. Each circle represents one of the failed bloodlines, calling its fragment home to reunite with the heart. "With me," Edrick said flatly. The fragment pulsed in his chest, and for a moment he could swear he heard whispers. Not words exactly, but impressions. Recognition. Hunger. A sense of incompleteness seeking wholeness. "We can't let them complete the ritual," Alluria said. "If they succeed in calling even one fragment here, they'll try to merge it with Edrick," Rose finished, her voice hard. "Turn him into a vessel for the Devourer's return." "That's why they're not attacking us," Edrick realized. "The corrupted creatures in the forest. They're watching, but they're not trying to stop us. The Devourer wants me to reach the ritual sites. Wants you to come to it," Shamaz agreed. "Like a spider calling a fly to its web." Edrick dismounted, his legs protesting after hours in the saddle. The fragment in his chest pulsed steadily now, a second heartbeat that grew stronger as he stared at the distant stones. He could feel it pulling him forward, urging him toward the ritual site with an insistence that bordered on compulsion. "We need a new strategy," he said, forcing himself to think tactically despite the fragment's whispers. Rose was right. "I can't lead the charge this time. The Devourer wants me there, which means walking into the center of those stones is exactly what we shouldn't do." "Then what?" Rose asked. "We can't just leave the ritual running. Every moment it continues, it grows stronger. We disrupt it from the outside," Alluria suggested. "Break the circles, scatter the cultists, force them to abandon the ritual and regroup." "That won't be enough," Shamaz said, still studying his journal. "According to Elder Ashara's notes, these rituals build on each other. Even if we stop this one, the progress they've made will remain. The next time they gather, they'll start from where they left off." "Then we need to do more than disrupt it," Edrick said. "We need to break it completely. Sever whatever connection they've established." "With the sealing blade," Rose said quietly. "Yes," Edrick agreed. "But not by charging into the center. We need to find the anchor point, the place where they're channeling the ritual's power. Break that, and the whole structure collapses." Alluria's eyes narrowed as she studied the distant stones. "The central altar. That's where the lead cultist will be. That's where the power flows. Can you reach it without going through the circles?" Edrick asked. "Maybe," Alluria said slowly. "If I approach from the north side, use the terrain for cover. But I'd need a distraction, something to draw their attention while I move." "We can provide that," Rose said immediately. "No," Edrick said firmly. "Not this time. If the Devourer wants me there, then we use that. I'll approach from the south. Openly, obviously. Let them see me coming. Every eye will be on me." "That's suicide," Rose protested. "That's strategy," Edrick corrected. "They won't attack me. They want me alive, want me to reach the altar so they can merge the fragments, which means I can walk right up to the edge of their ritual without being touched." "And when you reach the altar," Shamaz asked quietly, "then Alluria will already be there," Edrick said. "She breaks the anchor point. I use the sealing blade to seal whatever channel they've opened, and we all get out before the backlash hits. The fragment will fight you," Shamaz warned. "Being that close to the ritual, surrounded by that much concentrated power, it will try to take control." "I know," Edrick said, "which is why you and Rose need to be ready. If I start to lose control, if the fragment starts to win..." "We pull you out," Rose said firmly. Whatever it takes. Edrick met her eyes, saw the determination there mixed with fear. If it comes to that, you might need to do more than pull me out. The implication hung in the air between them. Rose's hand moved to her sword hilt, knuckles white. Don't ask me to do that. I'm not asking, Edrick said gently. I'm trusting you to do what needs to be done. What I'd do if our positions were reversed. Damn you, Rose whispered, but she didn't look away. Shamaz cleared his throat. There may be another option. The amulet has been changing its symbols since we retrieved the sealing blade. Elder Ashara believed it was trying to communicate something, a different way to use the blade's power. We don't have time to decipher ancient riddles, Alluria said practically. The ritual is happening now. Then we go with the plan we have, Edrick said. Alluria approaches from the north. I approach from the south. Rose and Shamaz provide support from the ridge, arrows and healing as needed. We hit them fast, break the anchor, and retreat before they can regroup. And if the fragment takes control while you're in there, Rose pressed, then you do what you promised, Edrick said quietly. What we both promised, through darkness and light. Until the end, Rose finished, her voice breaking slightly. They prepared in silence, each checking weapons and equipment with the practiced efficiency of warriors who'd fought together for years. Edrick felt the fragment pulsing steadily in his chest, could sense its eager anticipation. It knew what was coming, knew he was walking willingly toward the very thing it wanted. But he was also walking toward it with the sealing blade at his side, with 3 loyal companions at his back, and with the desperate hope that they could break this ritual before the Devourer claimed him completely. As the sun reached its zenith, they began their descent toward the weeping stones. The fragment in Edrick's chest pulsed faster with every step, and he could swear he heard laughter in the wind, ancient, patient, and utterly without mercy. The Devourer was waiting, and this time, Edrick was bringing the fight directly to its doorstep. He only hoped he could hold on to himself long enough to strike the blow that mattered.
Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures. Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures.